Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out Stormgate. And I do know that we have just the smallest little bit of gameplay for this, but this is a game that I think that once it gets a really proper gameplay trailer, that people are going to be much more interested in it if it fits into the genre of games that you are interested in. So Stormgate is being made by Frost Giant Studios, I believe is the name. I'll double check as we actually get through these trailers. We have two, and these are former StarCraft devs. So Blizzard, in all of their wisdom and glory, have been murdering some of their most beloved IPs. They don't support StarCraft basically at all anymore. They gave up on Heroes of the Storm. The only reason that they still support Hearthstone is because people spend way too much money on packs of fake digital cards. And so, I mean, they've cut so much of their staff for one reason or another, right? They've been buying up studios to support World of Warcraft while they murder their other darlings, right? And so, but one of the genres that is often just like floating in the winds, out in the bayous, in the deepest nethers of the edge of the galaxy, is the RTS genre, real-time strategy. And StarCraft largely is the absolute pinnacle of RTS games. I will say, it is far from my favorite. That's probably reserved for Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, if I had to. Just really anything made by Westwood. I really loved everything made by Westwood Studios, which is primarily the earlier Command & Conquer games. But probably Red Alert 2. That game has a very special place in my heart. I enjoyed Warcraft 3. I never got super into StarCraft because I sucked at it, okay? I couldn't beat the computer on easy, okay? I don't know what it was about StarCraft, whether it's the macro or the micro or whatever it is, but I'd be like doing my little base building and having a good time, and then 3 minutes later the easy PC is like, "Are you ready to deal with 48 Zerglings?" And I'm like, "How the fuck did you build those already?" And it's like, "I'm here to get you ready for the main game." And I'm like, I don't think I want to play the main game. Thanks, StarCraft. All right, well, cool. Good story. All right. Peace out. Good talk. Bye. Another really good RTS game is Warhammer 40k Dawn of War. Really good. Highly recommend. Dawn of War, by the way, the first one. There's Dawn of War 2 and 3. Don't recommend either of those. But Dawn of War 1 and all of its expansions, very good. All right, anyway, so we're here to talk about Stormgate, not old RTSs that people don't really play anymore. Stormgate is the new RTS that we have hopes for because it is coming from former StarCraft devs, and I hope that I'm able to play it without getting curb stomped by the AI. But we'll see. This is a cinematic trailer, as just a heads up of what we're getting into first. So the other trailer will have just a little bit of gameplay in it. I mean, a little bit. Love playing army men more than strategy. I mean, that's me too. I want to build up a cool base and organize my stuff and be like, yeah, look at all my dudes. All right, send an army out. Woo! Like, yeah, that's definitely me.
Discovery, this is command. Storm's in your way. Prepare for extraction.
Build a cool base with your towers all designed where you want them. Build the walls that no one else ever actually uses because they're useless in strategic play. Discover that there's actually a gate in the build menu that serves a purpose. Having defendable fort, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. It's like I said, it's playing army men, and I love it. You know, one of the problems with cinematic trailers for RTSs, I would never guess this is an RTS on first glance. I would have guessed, like, Mass Effect knockoff, right?
Mission accomplished.
Action RPG with melee combat due to that being a shield. Yeah, and a gun, you know. we're gonna make like StarCraft Ghosts, but we don't have the rights to Nova, so we just got a different pretty anime protagonist.
Hang tight, Doc. I've got this.
Do you got this?
Glad you could make it.
We gotta move. Now. There's a storm coming.
Hey.
And hell's coming with it.
Register for 2023 beta. Ooh. PlayStormgate.com. Yeah, I believe the beta is actually mid 2023. So we got like 9 months before you can even hope to even think of trying this game. All right, so this is actually the developer update. They have a couple other trailers on their YouTube channel, but they're strictly the devs just talking to a camera. And those are fine, but I don't think that's what we're here for. And so instead, I do note that there is some gameplay clips and shots in this. So that's why we're going to bring this one in as well. Most important question remains, is there a single-player campaign? There better be. There absolutely better be. I feel like too many companies now are not, when it comes to a game that has a multiplayer aspect to it, not giving enough attention to a single-player component.
Together, we've been fortunate to work on some of the greatest RTS games of all time, and now we have a chance to do it again by creating the next evolution of that legacy. Today, we are so excited to share a first glimpse of Stormgate, an exclusive sneak peek into the universe and game that we've been creating for you. Stormgate takes place in an all-new post-apocalyptic setting where science fiction and fantasy collide. Our story begins hundreds of years in Earth's future, following the near extinction of humanity. This great calamity was caused by the infernal...
Even worse than that, Eve, Halo Infinite just isn't getting couch co-op now. Not officially.
With our story, we are creating an ever-expanding game universe, told through an ongoing series of campaign missions that you can play solo or cooperatively.
Yeah, they announced that recently, that they just aren't doing it.
Along with new units, maps, modes, and plenty of other surprises. In addition to campaign missions, we're building a world-class
Campaign missions!
experience with grassroots and professional tournaments accessible from
We already got that question answered then, Eve. Single-player
There are
campaign.
games
Woo!
suitable for all levels of experience. In our new 3-player co-op versus AI mode, you'll level up your heroes, collect rewards, and customize your forces to open up new styles of gameplay and long-term variety.
I forget what was the name of that game mode that was in StarCraft 2? It was called like Defend the Spire or something like that, or that's I think that's actually just an entirely separate video game. They're probably taking a level of inspiration from that for this co-op three-player experience here. Defense of the Ancients? Is that...
Free to play,
Well...
but not pay to win, and there will be no NFT.
God damn it. I hate that we are in a world and environment today where this shot is something that you have to add to your game. That you have to add a screen that says, by the way, we're not doing NFTs in our game. Like, I'm glad, I feel bad for people that lost a shitload in NFTs, and I also dislike the people that just, like, robbed other people blind through NFTs, but, and I'm glad that they've very quickly, like, showed up and have gone away almost as quickly as they showed up, but, man, in the annals of gaming history, there is going to be this major chapter that is like the rise and fall of NFTs. And unfortunately, you're going to see bitches like Ubisoft and Square Enix having their own dedicated sections of like, this is why this was a bad idea. Everybody hated them, and everyone realized that they hated them, and we had to figure out, and it started to announce that they weren't associated with them. Oh, man.
Beta testing starts next year, and you can sign up now to reserve your place in line at playstormgate.com.
Okay, so that's it. There was just these couple of little scenes. Like I said, it was not much. We get to see like this portal to hell open up with some bats pouring out of it, and then this pre-alpha in-engine footage where there's just a little bit of units. We got a couple of like foot soldiers here, a couple of like the suit people that we saw in the cinematic, some like dinosaur looking things, and then the big winged demon enemy that we saw. I guess these are more along the lines of like dogs. So we didn't get a whole lot out of it, but we did at least get a very rough idea of the art style. And it's interesting. It's not surprising given that these are StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 devs, but in a lot of ways it feels like they took Warcraft and StarCraft and smushed them together to make this art style, because it's kind of got the cartoony aspect of Warcraft 3, but it's got obviously like the mechs and the general vibe and tone of StarCraft in it. So yeah, that's Stormgate from Frost Giant Games. I'll be looking forward to this one. I'm not, as we already talked about. Defense of the Ancients was the one in Warcraft, though, wasn't it, Cerulean? I believe, I can't remember what the one in StarCraft 2 was called. I don't think it was called Defense of the Ancients. Maybe it was. I mean, I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that one. But as we talked about at the beginning of this, I do not care at all about the esports aspect of RTS games. I can appreciate them. Watching professional StarCraft is mind-blowing. Do I have any interest in partaking in it, even like casually? Absolutely not. My favorite thing to do, as we already talked about, is like play Army Men, build a base, run the base out. If I'm playing with other people, like I want to be on the same team, and we can slowly tick the AI's difficulty up to the point where it is challenging and I feel like I need to strategize without resulting to the strategies that you see in esports. Because like I did try a little bit of competitive Warcraft 3 way back in the day, and you did that whole strategy of like, yeah, you play orcs, you start with Blade Master, you run your Blade Master over there and harass them. If you can try and kill a couple of their peasants, if you get one building down, the game is basically locked. Like I remember that and remember disliking it because I was like, man, this is not how I like to play RTS games at all. It felt actively unfun. And so really the interest for me then is the more casual experience, both as like a single player experience and as a co-op experience. I did play the co-op mode in StarCraft 2, and I can say that I enjoyed it just because it was a co-op game. You had this focus and these goals and these missions that you needed to take care of, and I liked that. Like I do not care about the esports, but I will be interested to see if this game can kind of bring RTS games back to the forefront. We've been getting RTS games, but a lot of them are indie projects. Some of them are really impressive indie projects. We've had some major branded experiences that are like licensed games. Like I think we had like a Terminator one. It looked really cool, but I don't feel like any of them are ever taking off in terms of gaining genuine traction, a player base, a user base, a viewer base, the way that games like Warcraft and StarCraft ever did. Given that these are Warcraft and StarCraft devs, I can hope that they will manage to do so, but it's a hard world out there in terms of gaining extra eyes on your game, especially if you want to be another major esport. So good luck, Frost Giant Games. I do truly wish you the best. I hope that Stormgate is good. I will be very interested to see what you put in there in terms of a casual single player or co-op experience for people like me. And I will look forward to more of this next year, because I don't think we're seeing much else. Like maybe something at the Game Awards, because that'll be in December, so it should be around 6 months out between when like we'll have the beta. But I don't know. We might actually just be waiting until the summer gaming events next year, because that'd be right around when the beta is actually starting. They could do some big announcement push during that time frame. That'd probably be a more reasonable approach, because I don't think that putting something at the Game Awards for something that you still won't even potentially get into the beta for 6 more months will be that beneficial, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not that type of business savvy. But to you watching right now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Stormgate, on the type, on Frost Giant Games being composed of a bunch of ex-StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 devs? Where do you sit on RTS games? What type of RTS player are you? Are you a casual player like me that wants to play army men and set up a cool base and build a cool army? Or are you ready to macro micro your brain out and tackle your opponents with only 2.5 enemies that you snuck up a back channel and completely managed to wreck their entire resource system with, and that you're just going to completely take over the game? I'd love to hear from you. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to keep with the conversation elsewhere, though, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you go watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.